Welcome back to Movie Lovers This is an intermission episode, a pause from our regular reviews, where we spotlight what's catching our attention right now, new releases, upcoming projects, or something that needs a deeper conversation. Let's jump into Hell Is Us. This is a video game that Rossie discovered, and she's going to break down what this game is, what it's about, and I'm also going to break down too of how I enjoyed playing this game for the very first time and stuff like that. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about Hell Is Us.
So John, when I got this game, it was during Christmas time. I got it for Christmas. I got a lot of AAA games, like I told you guys, and this one was absolutely different. I think I went MIA during Christmas time, John. I don't think I talked to you much. People are probably wondering where I was, what I was doing. I was in a house playing Hell Is Us. This was a game that my husband got me for Christmas. I didn't think I'd like the game because I had I had great games, like really awesome games this Christmas. And I remember putting this on, like it was the last one that I put on. And I instantly was like, what is this? And I fell in love with it. I couldn't put it down, John. So to let you guys know just a little bit about just what Hell Is Us is about. It's a third-person action adventure game centered on organized nations, peacekeepers, organized nations. So there's a peacekeeper. His name is Remy, who goes absent without leave to find his parents in the war-torn fictional country of Haiti. Okay, so he's going to look for his parents. He discovers the region is plagued by a mysterious calamity that has unleashed supernatural creatures and cannot be harmed by modern weapons. And so I guess I'll talk about when I got the weapon, or we can just talk about your first impressions of the game, John, before we really get into it.
So I'll be honest with you, I'm addicted to this game. I was huge into like Final Fantasy video games and stuff like that, RPG video games, role-playing games and stuff like that. So I'm used to this kind of stuff, but I've never been into a video game where I can actually, if I don't want to fight this monster, I'm not forced to have to fight him or have to be forced to run away or the monster takes a turn and I take a turn. It's this open world where I can actually basically be a coward and run away if I wanted to. So I like that. I also like this open world kind of vibe of how this game is, and it's also like how you want to play it, because the way you pitched it to me was there's no map, there's no guide to tell you what buttons to push or anything like that either. Right. So you're just thrown into the game, and they're like, "Good luck, kid. Go do whatever you want to do." And I miss games like this where there's no directions. You just throw it into a game and you try to play it. It reminds me of me playing an NES game from back in the day where I can just go ahead, pop it in, and just learn on my own on what buttons to push, how to play the game on my own. And then once you catch on to the lingo and everything else within this game, you realize how the weapons help you. Not only do you learn that, you also learn about the towns and also the puzzles. And I like the fact that too, with the character interactions too, it gives you choices of where you want to start at with asking these questions to these characters. Right. So I really like that.
Right. I remember when the game started, you start on this mountain, and like I said, in Haiti, and you're coming down this mountain. And by the way, the graphics are really beautiful, you guys. And the gameplay takes place back in the 90s. Okay. So you're coming down this mountain. Like John said, it's an open world game. You do what you want to do. You don't have anything to help you. You do get a compass, though. You do get a compass, and that's all you get, which really does help. I didn't use it at first, and then I found myself using it, and I'm like, that's why we got the compass, because there's places that you may have found something and you don't remember where it is. It takes a while to figure out where everything is when you go to the first town. But getting to that first town, when you get to that field, there's this open field. After you visit the barn house, you meet an old man there, and he gets you started. And I love how when you meet characters, you can ask them about Haiti, about different religion groups. Each character will give you their version or of Hadia or what's going on in the little town. So I love that. And I did enjoy the character interaction. It just gives you this. I felt like, you know, this game is a gym. Okay. I definitely want to say that. And playing it, you want to learn so much more. And it's really exciting when you find something out and then you find out about what it is that you just discovered. And it makes you want to go and get to the next town, which takes you a while because there's things that you have to do in that first town. The character interactions, there's these things called good deeds. You don't know what a good deed is until you do a good deed. And after a while, I think maybe hour 5 or so, or maybe hour 2 playing the game, then you start to get an understanding of, oh, okay, so you really want to go around and meet these people. And as far as the puzzles are concerned, there are places where you'll have maybe one of the limbic sticks, or monuments that you find that you need to have these things to open up this chest. You always circle back. I remember at first I was like really nervous because I what if I don't remember how to get back here to find this what I need? I mean, you really, it's like you're
Right.
stressed a little bit, but it's so fun because you always do, John.
And well, here's another thing. You were in anxiety about not finding your way back. For me, it's like, how am I supposed to do this puzzle,
Right.
not knowing where these puzzle pieces are?
Yes.
And do I complete the game still if I don't complete those puzzle pieces
Right.
or anything too? So that was my anxiety of it. It wasn't so much of like, how do I find myself back?
Right.
Because I don't use the compass. I'm
See, I start using that compass.
You see, I don't. I just use like landmarks to help find my way back or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna probably try and start using the compass, even though I'm actually living dangerously by not using my compass right now.
Right.
Even though
Right.
I'm like a month in and I'm still not using my compass. I'm actually just doing what I normally do. But
I'm sorry. After a while, I have to say, after a while, you start learning the landmarks.
Mhm.
You do start looking for landmarks. Because for me, I would forget to take the compass out, and I only used it if I was like, there's a second town that you go to or an area that you go to, and you get really confused running up in the woods and going around here. So I would pull my compass out if I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, this is an important place. Remember, it's located northeast of whatever. Other than that, you do get to a point where you
Right.
can remember, landmarks. But I want to mention, we spoke about the Calamity. The Calamity is a mysterious event that caused Hollow Walkers, and I'll let John tell you about them. And John, I want to ask you something about them. They're
Okay.
supernatural beings or limbic entities drawn to strong human emotions and suffering to emerge. These creatures are linked to an ancient entity called the Eye of God, which was believed to manipulate emotions and reality, and is the source of time loops that force people to repeat tragic moments. When you first see the time loop, weren't you see it in a distance, way in the distance, you see this thing, just this big cylinder thing that's just moving,
Yeah.
and you have these hollow walkers that are called, certain ones that are called guardians. They
Right. The
have like
Guardian.
this umbilical cord, it looks like, attached to them. So when you see that time loop, I'm telling you guys, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. And it's amazing when you do figure out what it is and how to close it. John, the hollow walkers, the weird movements.
Yeah, the weird movements of the Hollow
Yes.
Walkers is
Yes.
very creepy. It kind of has this Silent Hill kind of vibe to it, the way they're moving and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just love how unique every single one of them has a purpose as
Yeah.
well on how you defeat them and stuff like that too. I know that you talked about, the time loop and stuff, and I remember wanting to go into the time loop and like, oh, it's too dangerous. I'm like, what do you mean it's too dangerous?
Right.
Like, I need to go in here and you're not allowing me access.
Right.
And then you realize, oh wait, I gotta destroy all the ones that are actually controlling the time loop before you can actually get into the time loop to
Right.
do that. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, that makes sense. And then also too, guys, if you're wondering like, okay, well, I destroyed all these these monsters that are controlling the time loop, but did you though? Because if you get to the last one, they make this loud sound, this ripping sound, and that's how you know that you actually got the last one. Therefore, you can go into the time loop, and now you're able to see how a certain story gets played out within that time loop because it tells you a story of what happened to somebody in the time loop.
Right.
But I really like the concept of how we actually get another story within the time loop, and
Right.
you're having to keep going and progressing through this whole entire thing. I know you mentioned the old man and the farm and stuff like that too,
Yes.
and the good deeds. I love the fact that you can actually do good deeds and get rewarded for certain things, and you have to see this other old man in a wheelchair, and he rewards you for
Right.
those good deeds that you do. And I actually have a buttload of them right now that I need to go on ahead and do. But that's just because I'm just going to cash everything in at one time.
Right.
But I like how everything has a purpose within it. It's not just for the sake of just being there or being
Yes.
scary. And you're right about the landscapes. The landscapes is really beautiful. The music also feels like Silent Hill a little bit.
Yeah. I get
But
that.
I like it's kind of haunting, but also kind of relaxation a little bit too. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because of the fact that, you know, it has those mountains, it has those different
Yeah.
things within it that makes you feel like you're kind of relaxed, but you can't because you actually have to take down these monsters.
Right.
But still, I just really love the mythology around it.
Right.
And you have the haze of rage, you also have the haze of grief, the haze of uh assassi, and then the haze of terror.
Yes. Yes. You also have like there's groups so there like there's
Mhm.
a war going on. You have the Sabians. The Sabians are a religious faction at war with the Palmas. The Palamas is the opposing religious faction in the Civil War. So you'll meet people that are diehard Sabians, and then you'll meet people that are diehard Palamas, and they have their ideas, and they tell you what's great about their religion, and vice versa. So you do have something going on. That's huge. That's going on, and I do want to say to piggyback off of what John said, it does have this relaxing feeling because the world is silent. It's really silent when you're running around looking for things. I also want to mention when you are able to close your first time loop, and when you hear that noise of killing the master guardian, like basically they're all gone. Yeah, for me, not knowing what the hell is going on, I'm like, wait, what was that? What did that mean? I didn't even go back to the time loop. I didn't think it had anything to do with the time loop. I just ran around, and finally I'm running around, and I can't figure out, like, why can't I get to the second place? Something's not right. But I noticed, wait, where are all the hollow walkers? Then I
Right.
decided, let me go check out this time loop again, because like John says, when you go up to it, it just says too dangerous to enter. That's all it says, and doesn't say what you need to do, how to get in. Then when you go and you realize, wait, I can go in, I'm going in. Then it connects you. Oh, okay. So that's what that is. And when you go inside, you do have to have, I can't call the name of the ancient artifact that you have to have in order to go into the time loop and to close the time loop.
I know I can't think of it either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys you'll find it. We don't want to, spoil the game for you, but you will find that you need this ancient object. When you go into that time loop, make sure you have that. Because if you don't, you cannot close it. And once you're in that time loop and you don't have that artifact to close it, you die.
oh
You
yeah, you
know,
also get an artifact on how to find them too.
Yes, you definitely do. Yes, and you find a lot, but each time loop has a certain one that you will need. They each have different names, and you can get a lot of them if you do good deeds. You get some of those, so those things are really important to have, and you guys will figure it out. Now, I finished the game. John has not finished the game. John, tell me what town? How many towns have you opened? Like, whereabouts are you in the game?
Okay, so I actually went through maybe 3 towns already.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
So I've actually covered a pretty wide range of them within the convoy that you actually get whenever you have
Okay.
to find the key,
Yeah,
because that's also another thing too. And then,
that's right.
I also like how you also have this other thing that's like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like the thing that's attached to him in a sense, where it's like a bat. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's
That's
that.
Go ahead.
It's the. It's actually a drone that's attached to him.
Oh, the drone. Yes. 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 So when Remy gets his weapon and this drone, um, when you guys get there and you find that, the weapon is freaking awesome. You can upgrade this weapon. You can choose different parts to put on this weapon, and you can also upgrade your drone, and your drone becomes very helpful because you can have your drone help you do certain things. All right, but these weapons, this sword that you get, it's freaking awesome, but you're so confused by it. You're like, wait, I didn't know this game would be a game where I would have a sword. And why? What is this about? It's really cool when you get it. And it kind of the sword kind of reminds me of there's a game called Soul Reaver, and in
Yep.
Soul Reaver, the Raziel, the lead character, had this Soul Reaver, this sword. The way that Raziel would run around with the sword, he would drag it, and Remy having his sword, the way the one when I got like the really big one, he would drag it around, and I thought that was really cool. I love the upgrades to the weapon, and I also love Remy's story because remember, Remy is back in his town, and he's looking for his parents. So some of the people that you meet will lead him to what he's looking for if he ends up finding his mom, his dad. And that story is really interesting. And every story, even the special deeds that you do, John mentioned this earlier, it is not just, I need an apple in order to, I lost my penny on the way to, this is my special. No, it's not that. These stories make sense. It all comes
Mhm.
within the story. And I really appreciate that because sometimes with certain games, you get tired of doing just meaningless chores in order to get to the next level. Here, the deeds that you do, they're really exciting because you really want to go and find what they're looking for. And when you find it, it is the best feeling when you go back and give someone something that they missed or needed.
Mhm.
I was
I
really
agree.
excited about that.
Here's the thing. I agree with you on that because of the fact there's a connection with the character, with the items to that character. Like you can
Yes.
find a picture of somebody,
Yep.
and that picture is a memory of something that happened before this whole entire takeover with the army and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that captures that memory. There's also this other thing that happens where you have to give milk, give someone a bottle of milk for their
That's
baby.
right. That's right.
So there's a meaning behind and a message behind every single thing you do, and
Yes.
that's something I really like. It's not like Rossi said, "Oh, find an apple, give it over to this person." No, this actually has a meaning. It actually has purpose
Right.
because it actually describes what who these characters are. And I like to like. I know we covered the whole entire deal where you talk to the characters and stuff
Yes.
like that, but I like how each character has a POV of what they went through, basically, of what
Yes.
each thing means, and it's like mythology, right? Where
Yes.
one
Yes.
person has one outlook on how. Oh, it was because of this religion, or
Yes.
no, it was because of our sin, and da 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 da.
Right.
Everybody has their own way of actually thinking why they're being infested with these monsters.
Right.
And I like that.
I also love that when the map opens up, I like John said, you don't have to, they don't tell you have to go here first in order to do this first. You go where you want to go. If you want to go to this town first before you do whatever, you can do that. You may find other things that lead you back to another place, but you're really able to do that. And I love that. But the problem with that is that you're like, ooh, where do I go first? Where do I want to go first? Okay, do I want to go here first or do I want to go to this place first? And I love that. And I love how each of the individual towns have their own world and life and uniqueness to it, to where when you get there, it's like, all right, what am I up for on this one? You know, but you can't wait to go see who you're going to meet, who you're going to run into. I mean, they just did a fabulous game. I haven't had a great time playing a game like this in a long time. And I played a lot of great games. There's great games out there, but indie games have killed it in 2025. And this
I
one by
agree.
far is my favorite indie game so far 2025. I by the way, Rogue Factor, you want to talk about Rogue Factor, who they are?
I'll let you do that part because you're the one
Okay.
who discovered them and found their stuff. So I want you to be able to get the credit for that.
Okay. Rogue Factor, they're the makers of the game. In just a second, guys, I want to make sure that I want to make sure I give them their proper cred. But anyways, Rogue Factor are the ones that made the game. Let's see. Yeah, let me tell you about Rogue Factor. So it's the Rogue Factor is a Montreal-based boutique video game development studio, founded in 2013. They're known for creating mechanically engaging titles like Hell Is Us. There's another one called Mordheim, City of the Damned, and Necromunda, Underhive Wars, led by creative director Jonathan Jock. Don't want to say his last name. I don't want to get it wrong, Jonathan. You guys go look him up. The studio focuses on original, atmospheric, and action-oriented games. So they've done just a great job. So thank you, Rogue Factor, for giving us gamers something that was new and different and throwing us into a world. Speaking of the world, really quick, you guys,
I
investigate
agree.
where you're at, you guys. This is not a game where you just leave it. Investigate every single nook and cranny of that world. You will be amazed at what you find. I mean, I had to go back through because I didn't know that in the first town, if you go up the street, just way up the street, there is another side of this large field that you can get to where this cave is at. And that's another thing. John, you want to tell them about the caves?
Yeah, the
Basically,
caves and
how
everything.
you just
Yeah,
go ahead.
basically with
Sorry.
the caves, I'm thinking that there's this connection with this one family where they're looking for their dog, for example. And I'm thinking that the dog is actually in the cave. So I'm thinking, okay, I gotta find this dog so I can get my good deed. But come to find out, he's actually in the town, tied up where this army person's at that we actually did because I was like, okay, so they abandoned their dog, but you don't realize that family abandoned their dog and left that dog inside the town. But you're actually thinking, oh, I gotta find them in this tunnel. But I
Right.
like how this is though. Each tunnel has its own puzzles and stuff like that too. There's also other things you have to find. You have to find keys. You also have to find. You can find files. You can find
Right.
different things within these caves that
Right.
serves the story and also helps you along the way.
Yes.
I have to. Matter of fact, I actually am addicted to this game. This is all that I play because I'm trying to beat it.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with it. I actually took out one video game to play this one, and I haven't popped the other video game back in. I've been on this for about 2 months now.
Yeah, I
So
did the same thing. I couldn't. The first town that you guys go to is gonna be called Jova.
yeah,
Okay,
Joe was the first town.
Jovi is the first town that you go to, and explore that town. But I did the same thing. I mean, I didn't put the game down until I finished it, and I want to say my heart was broken when I finished the game. I was just like, "What? No, no, this can't be it. No, please, no. I want to play some more." I was hurt, but it took me a while to beat the game. I mean, I played this game day and night. I was up till 2, 3 in the morning, and I had to take a game out, uninstall a game to play this game. And it was tough, but I'll get to that game another time. This one was like, I need space. I'm so happy that I did because I had a thrill. I can't wait for another game. I'm looking forward, and I'm gonna go check out their previous games because if this one is out there, I didn't know about the other one, so I'm definitely gonna go back and check out Rogue Factor games.
Matter of fact, I love how creative they are with this game, and it's very unique. It's a different spin on the role playing games and stuff like that. And I have to commend everybody that worked their butts off for this.
Right.
But I just want to point this out there. I got one of my friends that he's seen me post a picture of the video game. And he's like, "What is that?" I said, "That's Hell Is Us." And then he's seen that it was like on sale on the PS on the store. So he's like, "Well, it's only like $35. Let me just see what this is about." And next thing you know, I got him hooked on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just telling you guys, the world building that they do in this, the creators that made this did a phenomenal job. I love the fact that we finally have some indie games that we can fall in love with. Don't get me wrong, I love the big blockbuster. That's
Of
what I'm
course.
basically calling. That's what I'm calling these video games that we know as I call them like blockbusters because we're familiar with them.
Yes.
Therefore, we actually feel safer going out and buying something that we know versus something that we don't know anything about.
Right.
And I'm glad that you took the risk to bring this to, to be able to play this, but not only play this, but also bring it to me and find an indie game company that used their imagination and has a concept of what they want to do with this and do the world building, use the mythology around it, and make this great landscape of what we know as Hell Is Us.
Right.
So I really love what they did with this.
Yeah, I ditto what you say, John. John's birthday was in January, guys. When I told him about this game, I was just geeking over it. I mean, he and I are going back and forth. I'm like, I'm sending you this game. I'm going to send you this game, and I'm going to send it to you for your birthday. I couldn't even wait to his birthday. I'm like, no, I got to send it to him like in a week. I couldn't even wait. His birthday was like
I got it like
January
2 days and 3 days later.
I'm like, and it's like early January, and I'm like, I can't. I wanted to wait and give it to him on his birthday, but I couldn't. I had to ship that game off to him. I was like, you need to play this game. Tell me what you think. Next thing you know, Brandy, I am so sorry. If I took him away from you, I am so sorry. I apologize to you.
Yeah, because seriously, when she comes into bed, that's all I'm playing is Hell Is Us. I'm like, you're gonna have to wait a minute here because we're watching Suits and we're binging Suits. I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, you're gonna have to wait on Suits for a minute. I'm almost done beating this monster's ass. Okay, just take a minute. And then after that, I died. I'm like, okay, we can watch Suits now.
I was like anxiously, like, my husband and I are watching TV and it's late and he has to work early in the morning. So I'm just spending time with him and he goes to bed. Love you, babe. All right. I'll be in bed soon. Dude, he went to bed at 9. He gets up at 3 to get something to drink before he leaves. And he's laughing at me. He's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I can't help it. I want to take it off, but I can't help it. I got to finish this game. And I hope it takes me another 30, 50 hours to finish this game. I mean, and he loved it too. I mean, when he come home from work, I'd be, dude, it was like a job. I'm like, coffee break, lunch break. He comes home from work. I'm just getting back into it. And he would sit there and he's like, this game's awesome. This game's awesome. I mean, he's going to play it. He's going to play it.
That's awesome, though. I love the fact that you both are gamers, and I'm like the only gamer in my house.
Are you really?
Yeah, like my wife, she can't handle video games because she gets motion sickness.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, good luck with that. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like the only gamer that's in this house.
Wow.
Right now. My other daughter, though, my other stepdaughter, she's a huge gamer, but she moved out. But you know what, though? I might actually tell her about this game.
You should. I've been telling everyone that's a gamer. And there's not many people that I know that are gamers, but the ones that I do know, I'm like talking about this game to them. Like, you got to get this game. So, she'd probably thank you for that, John.
I think so too. I think, you know what? I'm actually gonna text her whenever I get off here and tell her that she needs to check out Hell Is Us. Definitely. And even though the price tag is not that expensive, you get a lot out of something because I was like, well, it's only like $30. Right. The game can't be that good if that's you know what I'm saying? Because some people
we think that.
And it's not. They put a lot of detail in it and stuff like that. Like I mentioned, it's definitely worth the price tag. And I'm happy that they actually make games affordable for someone that can actually afford a video game in this economy. It's like, hey, look, we're going to drop down the price tag and make our money that way and earn our money back versus it being, oh, let's make this for X amount of money and we don't even make our profit back because the budget is so expensive.
Right. No, I totally get that. The price point, I don't know. All I know is that, my husband got it. And he was like, he was like, I'm surprised it wasn't that expensive,
Right.
to get the game. So it was just, I was like, you did a really good job this Christmas, babe. Good job.
But I
Yeah,
want to tell you
yeah.
this, like,
Go ahead.
if this came out during my college years, during the time of San Andreas, because that was like the last video game I played where I stayed up all night and it was time for
Hell
me to
yeah.
go to college and my friend had to pick me up from my house. And he goes, "What the hell you been doing all day?" I said, "San Andreas."
Yeah.
This would be the same way with me if I was in my youth and I was still playing games and I
Right.
got to hang out with my friends and
Right.
then be wondering, what have I been up to 3 a.m. in the morning?
This.
And I'm like, the hell is us?
this this
Yeah,
is what I've been up to.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. If I had to say anything negative about the game, there was a couple of glitches that I ran into. I think I got stuck trying to get into a corner and I got stuck into a rock because I jumped off of a waterfall and landed in the wrong area and kind of got stuck there. And that was only like what, maybe one time that happened. Um,
Mm,
Other than that, I don't have anything that I would say I didn't like. I like the fact that there was no map. It was really exciting to
me
not
too.
have a map. At first, it's kind of scary because you're kind of like, where do I go? Another thing I want to mention is this game makes you think. I had to stop and think about, okay, I have this, I had this. Okay, where was this at? Okay, I think it was, I love that. I love that I had to stop and think about where I was going next or the items that I have, trying to figure out the good deed. Who have I spoke to? All right, let me go back here and go check it out. And you going back and checking out things, it's kind of funny how you'll end up finding something that you didn't realize was there. And it's like, oh, how did I miss it? Some things are like in plain sight. When you go to Jovi, read the things on the walls. Make sure you don't read everything. The things on the walls, the things that are written on buildings. You'd be amazed how it's telling you a story about the town or something that happened. So, oh, another thing I wanted to mention was, did you find it odd that you couldn't jump
Yeah, and I also couldn't swim.
and you couldn't swim? And I obviously you did what I did. There was a lake, and I was like, well, let me jump in. Let me jump into it. And when you die, it's like, oh, okay, so you can't do that. I appreciate that because you had to find a way around.
Me
And
too.
that's what I like about the game. You had to find a way around. There was no jumping. You had to find a platform to get around. So you start to look for that because if you saw that, you knew, okay, there's a way for me to get way up there because I see a platform, but how am I going to do it? So a lot of ladders in this game. You can
Yeah.
climb, you just can't jump. So, and you cannot swim. So I'm
I kind
saving you
of,
guys with that.
you know what though? I'm kind of glad that you can't jump
Yep, me too.
because you also have because don't forget, you also have the you know what I'm talking about, the other thing that you have on your back though
Oh
too.
yeah, you have your gosh, your drone. You have your
Yeah,
drone.
you have the drone.
Yes, you
So
have the
I think
drone.
that's why I think that's actually why they made it like that, is because hey, you have a drone
Right.
that you can actually try and kill these monsters without having to charge up your weapon or have to
Absolutely.
use your stamina or anything like that. But I also like the fact too, like there's danger aspect of you jump in the water. If you look at the way the water looks, it looks toxic. You're gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that too myself because I'm like, okay, I can just swim.
Right.
No, you can't swim.
Right.
But but I do like that challenge of I have to walk around and find a pathway around something
Right.
to get to where I need to go to. So I definitely
Also
like that.
the vehicle really quick. The vehicle that you have, you discover this vehicle, like John said, you have to find the keys. But when you discover this vehicle, this vehicle takes you around the place. It gets you to where you need to go. And I love that you have the option of the animation of watching the vehicle drive you to where you need to go, or you can click that off and just be there. But this vehicle becomes very important to you because that's where your map is. You're going to be in this vehicle a lot because you're going to be going back and forth, or you have to go back to Jovia. So I love the vehicle aspect, and like I said, the people that you meet, the game's great, you guys. This is a
Yes,
good game.
I definitely agree with you. The game is fantastic. We can't praise this game enough,
I
to be
know,
honest with you.
right?
You need guys just need to go in and stop this podcast right now and just buy it. And then come back to us and say thank you. Because seriously, this game is fantastic. The originality behind it, the creators behind it, the developers did a fantastic job with it. I can't praise them enough. But thank you guys for giving us Hell Is Us, because we definitely had a great time with this video game. It means so much to us. And we look forward to seeing what you have next in store as far as a video game company goes, because if you guys can make Hell Is Us, imagine what else you guys can do in the future, because I know you have other video games already out there.
Yes.
But it's just that so happens to be this is the first one that landed for us.
Right.
That means so much to us. So thank you.
And they have a deluxe edition that's out, and I think they're giving, I think it's 40% off or something like that.
Okay.
Go follow Rogue Factor and check out what they have going on. But I know that they do have a deluxe edition, so check them out and buy that one, because I'll get that one next.
I'll probably
And John,
get
we know
that one.
you are. We already know. I already know.
Because you know me, I need to have it all,
Yes.
and not just a little small thing. I need to have the whole entire complete thing.
Yes.
So,
yeah, I definitely want that one.
Same here. So, is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as this goes?
No, I think we covered it. Play Hell Is Us.
Yeah, play Hell Is Us. Tell us what you think. And if you enjoy more intermission episodes, we actually have more coming. It's been a minute since I actually did an intermission episode. It's been almost a year since I've done my last one. So we're going to start bringing back the intermission episodes. Tell me what intermission episodes you would like us to talk about too, because I also like to talk about music. I also like to do mixtapes. I like to mix it up a little bit. So tell us what you would like to do for us to do. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and also to give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you guys get your podcasts from. It actually helps us to be able to be discovered more, and also helps us out in the ratings as well.
Yes.
So with that being said, thank you again, guys, for giving us a great video game. Thank you for listening, and always up to next time, guys. Bye-bye.